Live pictures from Dr. Oz campaign headquarters in Pennsylvania. The Republican primary Senate is there. It could change America for years to come. Kathy Barnett has the big momentum heading into Election Day. She describes herself as Ultra-MAGA, and that terrifies establishment Republicans. Even Sean Hannity says she's a little too extreme. On the other side, Dr. Oz, the TV celebrity Mehmet Oz, endorsed by President Trump, and up until a week ago, the runaway favorite. Mr. Trump said he picked Oz because the TV doc will do well in the general election. Billionaire David McCormick sits third. Barnett's victory would be a Democratic's dream, especially for opposition research. Her homophobic tweets and comments calling President Obama a Muslim, not to mention marching in the January 6th Proud Boys group at the Capitol, make for great attack ads and would allow Democrats to force Republicans around the country to answer for the most extreme of Senate candidates. Republicans need a net pickup of one seat to take control of the U.S. Senate. Take Pennsylvania, for example. President Trump won it by 0.75 of a point in 2016. Mr. Biden won it by a little more than 1% in 2020. So the GOP establishment worries an ultra-MAGA primary pick will turn off the very swing voters they need in November. Scott Tranter runs Decision Desk HQ. Our polling partners will be making the calls this evening. All right, Scott. What do we look for, and what does it tell us about enthusiasm and the general election tonight?
Yeah, well, Pennsylvania is going to be the key state, just like it was in 2020, and you noted it at the top. It's going to be the key state for control of the Senate, and if President Trump runs again against President Biden, it'll be the key state in 2024. So you're looking at a pretty good preview of what our political lives are going to be circling for the next couple of years. What we're looking for tonight, does momentum really carry Kathy Barnett across the finish line? 10 days ago, we weren't really talking about her, and now she is, the prohibitive favorite as far as momentum goes. Mehmet Oz is ahead, but within the margin of error. If I was going to sleep last night, I'd rather be Kathy Barnett than I would have been Mehmet Oz.
Has Kathy Barnett tapped into an energy and an enthusiasm the way Donald Trump did in 2016?
It certainly seems like that, especially in a Republican primary electorate in Pennsylvania that is largely Catholic, very pro-life. She came onto the scene recently based on a video she had done, professing her pro-life stance. And that really resonates with that Catholic pro-life Republican electorate in Pennsylvania. She has tapped into that. She isn't endorsed by former President Trump, yet she claims Ultra-MAGA, so she's trying to check all the boxes. And I think she's really figured out how to thread the needle and make it close here in the end.
So many establishment Republicans, Mitch McConnell all the way down, have warned against repeating the same mistakes for Republicans of 2010 and 2012 when control of the Senate was in their grasp, but for picking these really extreme candidates. Does that rule still hold, and is Kathy Barnett that extreme if she's picked?
Look, that's certainly what the establishment Republicans think, and the so-called wise men of the party, that's what the consultants think. But the voters disagree. That is why she is surging in support, and it's going to be a close race. I think at the end of the day, if you look at it pragmatically and with the numbers, yeah, Mehmet Oz or David McCormick are the better general electorate candidates, but we're not in the general election yet. We're in the primary, and so that's how these things are won.
I remember saying that Jeb Bush was going to be a better general election candidate than President Trump. We all know how that worked out. I think you and I both lost a couple of bets based on those results. But I'm thinking about the voters specifically, Western Pennsylvania and Eastern Ohio. Eastern Ohio rural voters listened to President Trump. They went for J.D. Vance a couple of weeks ago. If Western Pennsylvania voters don't listen to President Trump, and if the same rural voters in North Carolina don't listen to President Trump, say on Madison Cawthorn, what does that tell us?
It tells us that they can discern between a Trump endorsement and what they think is the right candidate for their party. Now, doesn't necessarily mean that they're, putting aside Trumpism or the MAGA wing of the party. They can just say, look, I understand President Trump endorsed Mehmet Oz, but we think Kathy Barnett not only, upholds our views, but also checks the Trump endorsement box. Because let's be honest, she does not have Trump's endorsement, but she is on the trail saying how much she supports him.
No question there. The Democrat John Fetterman, real quick, in Pennsylvania, a favorite there, had a stroke, just had a defibrillator put in place. Does that radically change things on Election Day, or do we just have to wait and see?
I mean, he's handily gonna win his primary tonight. At least that's what it's projected to be. We'll see how the votes come out. Obviously, thoughts and prayers go out to him because that is a scary thing to happen, especially for a guy his age. I think he's tapped into something too on the Democratic side. He's a guy who shows up in a hoodie and shorts. He wears sandals to debates. Like I like the guy. That's what I'd be wearing. But he's got to make it to the end, and that would be an interesting matchup. You get a John Fetterman versus a Kathy Burnett in the fall, and if you're the Democratic Party, you're feeling good about your Senate chances. Your Senate chances in keeping that seat in Pennsylvania. At least that's what it looks like today. But again, people like me have been wrong in the past. But this is why this is interesting to watch. Yeah,
and fun to cover. Scott, thank you. We'll see you tonight through the evening. Put a pot of coffee on. Coming up, how one city. Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.